I've kind of evaluated that to tell myself that, it's not easy for me to talk about it, but it's not right for me not to talk about it, especially if I'm going to be doing this and try to be what I feel like, I feel like I was put into circumstances and places to where if I don't tell that story, then I'm not doing myself justice and I'm not doing the people around me that I've lost along the way from addiction and stuff like that. It's really just kind of like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet hole if I go around trying to, sing a song about something I don't know nothing about. If I sing about opiate addiction, there's not ever going to be a time where I'm going to tell you it's a good experience, you know, because it never was, even when I thought it was.
If you are a fan of outlaw country, well, I have got a treat for you today. Bryan Martin is here. Welcome, Bryan.
Hey, thank y'all for having me.
I'm excited to have you here. Now, you truly do have the outlaw country sound. Who do people say you sound most like?
Well, that's the thing. I've always kind of got a little bit of an array of everything. And, some of the Merle Haggard and the storytelling, and some of the wailing and the outlaw. And then, as the modern stuff goes, there's a lot of people nowadays, I think, that are just paving their own way and doing their own thing. And it feels good to do that, to be able to do that and have people listen to it and not kind of be able to get on the internet and just tell the truth and people relate to it. It's a real good feeling.
I think it's that authenticity.
Yeah, it's just kind of like I think a lot of people need that. I think they need the relatability.
Yeah.
Something that they know that they're not the only ones going through something.
Well, so you kind of have your background, which kind of, I kind of want to call outlaw country badass country, because it kind of is a little more accurate to me. Because outlaw's like, you broke the law. That's not you. But you're kind of a badass because you used to work in the oil fields.
Yes,
so
yes, ma'am.
Tell us about that.
Well, I worked in the oil field for 15 years, and up until about 2 years ago, it was one of those things where I never even thought I'd ever had the chance to take the guitar and make a move to Nashville and do it for a living. But I've been really blessed, and the fans keep listening, and the people, the working class, understand what I'm saying, and it's been a real blessing. And like I said, it's hard work. I got a lot of scars. Probably got one too many, but I wouldn't trade it for nothing because it makes a real good song.
Yeah, it does. Well, like you said, it's that kind of that working man's story, and it is very relatable because a lot of country music listeners are that working class. They love the music and it tells the story.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me, talk about some scars working in the oil fields. You've overcome an opiate addiction.
Yes, ma'am.
I know that's not easy for anyone. I'm sure
yeah.
It's not easy to talk about. I'd love to hear your story.
Well, I've kind of evaluated that to tell myself that it's not easy for me to talk about it, but it's not right for me not to talk about it, especially if I'm going to be doing this and try to be what I feel like. I feel like I was put into circumstances and places to where if I don't tell that story, then I'm not doing myself justice and I'm not doing the people around me that I've lost along the way from addiction and stuff like that. It's really just kind of like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet hole if I go around trying to, sing a song about something I don't know nothing about. If I sing about opiate addiction, there's not ever going to be a time where I'm going to tell you it's a good experience, because it never was, even when I thought it was. So I've always been one of those kind of guys where it says, I've done this, so I'm going to sing about it and tell y'all about it. Y'all choose y'all's own path. I'm not going to push it on you, but I'm just telling you that this is where I'm at, and this is what I've been through. And I just hope that one person that was where I was at, in those times, hears it and it helps them.
It can be, it's really powerful. It's powerful to have that experience and to now come to where you are here in Nashville, making country music, making amazing country music, by the way.
Thank you.
And, like you said, kind of forging that path. And what a great role model, really. Honestly, that's, life is hard.
Yeah,
People
are
going through stuff. And if they know that, somebody like you has gone through that and you've overcome it, the power in that message is crazy.
It's I've never even actually thought of it like that, and if I'm a role model, please don't follow my footsteps. Just listen to the songs and listen to the stories, because that's one thing I can say for sure now is that as I get older, now my kids are getting older, I'm like, all these things that my dad passed down to me and all these things that I'm passing down to them, I want them to know that, I wear the scars, I've lived a life, but I probably could have lived a little less of it. Still told you the same thing because I've been told better, you know. And it's like I said, it's that trial by fire thing. But I just want them to be able to be proud of what I do at the end, and know that I was trying to be the best man I could be for them along the way.
Absolutely. So tell me, are you going on tour with Warren Zeiders?
We are. We're going on a Pretty Little Poison tour. That's what it's going to be fun. My first time going out with Zeiders, and like I said, I've been listening to his music for a little while here on TikTok and everywhere, and so I'm excited to go out there and have a good time with these guys and see some places I ain't seen.
That's a perfect fit. I mean, that's a dang good show right there. I mean, with Warren Zeiders, wow.
It's gonna be a good one. It really is. I'm gonna be seeing a lot more of the West Coast and the Northwest, and I haven't seen yet. And I'm glad to finally be able to branch out and get over there, because a lot of people are always in the comments saying, "Come see us." Well, I'm trying.
I'm trying. Now
we're coming.
You're gonna do it.
Now it's up to y'all to get there.
That's right. Get those tickets. So you've got a new song, "Wolves Cry." Tell us about the song, and is this also a new album too, or just a song?
Yes, man. This is a song. The new album coming out is going to be called "Poets and Old Souls," and the song "Wolves Cry" was one of those, I guess you would say, just proud of where I come from, that little spot in Louisiana. And I think that it was just more of a testament of, I think there's a lot of people that's just really proud of where they come from. And you know, in my part of the Louisiana, it may not be much, but it's a lot to me, you know. Mm-hmm. And on that river bank is where I grew up, learned how to hunt and fish, and was raised up on things, knowing how to survive no matter what, and just having that thankfulness to have what I had. And I think that that's what keeps me going. Today's journey is like every time I get a chance to do one of these or tell my story, I'm just thankful for it. And that heritage, that Native American heritage that I have in my grandma's blood, and my uncle that passed away, you know, everything I carry with me, I carry it with me. Oh, and I tell the story with it. So Wolves Cry is just that testament of be proud of where you're from, be proud of what you got. And don't matter if somebody else says it ain't as much as what they got. It's more than enough for you.
That's right. Well, I mean, you're talking about, you know, storytelling. So you've written over 3,000 songs. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
It was kind of like a way to. I have a real bad way of like memory and stuff like that. So like I would always write stuff down that I was going through, and after I went through the opiate addiction and, you know, the failed suicide attempt after everything, I wrote my first song, and I met my wife, and so every day was just kind of like a testament of like, I made it through the day, you know, and I just write a song about it, and it seemed to turn into a deal that just never stopped, and I'm glad it didn't. It just kept me healing. It kept me learning. If I knew I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, I'd sit down and I go, okay, let's write this in a song, and we remember not to, you know, do this again, you know. But I'm thankful for it. It's like a journal. But I've never been good about saying things that are talking and speaking. But I can say anything you want me to say and tell you my whole story through a song and rhyme. So
that's the power. That's the power of country music, isn't it?
It is. I told my lady, I said, one day I'm gonna say everything I want to say to you without making it rhyme. But until then, I'm gonna keep writing it in songs like "Beauty and the Struggle" and stuff. So the
Beauty and the Struggle. Speaking, I'm glad you brought that up. You went a little viral on TikTok with that song. It's a beautiful song. I talk about the TikTok experience with that too.
That was crazy. My son said, "Hey, you know, you gotta try this TikTok thing," and I'm like, I don't know if they have singers and stuff on there. And I said, all I've seen is lip singing and, you know,
and dancing.
I said I can lip sing to my own song, but I don't know how weird that would feel the first time, but I'll do it. And I got on there and I went to try to do it, and I said, no, I'm just gonna sing one. So I sang it, and the first one popped off, and the next thing you know, it just kept going. I said, might be something to this. And then I felt crazy because it took me 10 years of just, you know, saying, no, I ain't doing that. I tell anybody out there that's still out there grinding it out, sometimes you get in your own way with not wanting to do the social media game, but I knocked 10 years out of what I'd already put into it in less than like couple weeks on TikTok
Exactly.
and Instagram. So it's almost like, man, I could have got a lot of life back. But I know that I wouldn't have the songs I have without the life I had to go
Right.
through. So it was all the God's timing and waiting on Him to just say, hey, all right, you done enough to go through the first door, but this ain't your last door. Don't get too comfortable, and
Yep.
and stay who you are and don't change.
So you brought your guitar, and are you willing to sing Wolves Cry?
Yes, ma'am, I'll do that for you.
Okay, good. Well, if you want to see that performance, you can catch the link in the description. And when we come back, we're also going to play my world famous game, Truth or Truth.
It's Truth or Truth.
All right, it is time for Truth or Truth. Are you ready to play the game, Bryan?
I think so.
Okay, all right. Everybody wins in this game.
All right.
Okay,
Let's see
everybody.
here. What's the most childish thing you still do? Well, I think the most childish thing I still do is probably call my dad every time I feel like I'm doing something like, I got something going on or something. Hey, I say, hey, Dad, I don't ask you for much, but I can't figure out what's wrong with this, But as far as picking, me and him still kind of like go at each other, just kind of like we used to when I was a kid. So I think that's probably the most childish thing I still do.
Dad's still
when I can't figure out something, he's always kind of like that one person I can go, hey, I don't ask for help very much, but he's still like that one person I can call. So that's
nice. You respect his advice, right?
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
I'm just trying to get as much of it as I can while I can.
Yeah, absolutely. That is good advice. Very good advice. All right, there'll be another one.
All right. Let's see here. What's the worst thing you ever done while at work?
I mean, maybe at the Oilfields. I don't know.
Well,
It's confession time now.
truth or truth? Okay. There's no backside to this question. So I don't know. I guess the worst thing I did. I guess the worst thing was I overflowed some things in some unsecluded places that I can't say because I wasn't paying attention, and so I made a couple mistakes at work, but I think it's probably about the biggest thing. I had a pretty big spill that I had to stay an extra 10 hours to clean up.
Oh man!
So after working 12 hours, that's
man.
probably the worst thing I've done at work. But
I was gonna say stealing like somebody's sandwich or
no.
something like that, like out of the refrigerator.
oh, well, I could have done that. I stole Jimmy's sandwich. Let's recut that.
See, yeah. That was the worst thing.
It's just
All right, we'll do one more.
All right. What's the most common misconception about you? Misconception. It would have to be that I'm a star or something. Like I don't look at myself as anything other than that blue collar hand. But a lot of my friends back home, they'll always say, "What's up, superstar?" So I guess that'd be probably the most misconception. Is just I'm still me. I'm still the same person, and I don't just say that to say it. It's because I don't know how to be nobody else.
That is a fair enough answer, and I like that. So, but we're also going to say, let's keep the superstar thing or rock star or whatever, because we're just projecting that out.
Oh, I know that.
Because you're getting there.
I'm trying. I like I said, I'm always gonna be the songwriter at heart. But I think that's the biggest deal is just I like being up there on stage and some of my guys come out to my shows. I had some of my friends from work show up at a show in Louisiana, which was back home, and when they showed up, it just felt good to know that when they saw me, they was like, "Man, you still you." I was like, I hope I'm still me at the end of it. So
Right?
if I ain't, you better tell me.
Well, I'm sure you have good enough friends that probably would.
Oh, they will.
They would tell you, right?
My daddy would tell me first. So yeah, I'm definitely thankful for that. I'm thankful to be able to be somebody that can wear the scars and be the common person that I am, and other people that can relate to that say, man, you ain't got to fit a certain bill or sugarcoat nothing. You can still go up there and tell the truth, and
Absolutely.
and be successful at it. So
Yes. Well, thank you for playing the game. Thanks for being here. And if you guys want to see the acoustic performance of Wolves Cry, you can catch that in the link in the description. Thanks again for being here, and make sure you follow Bryan Martin on all the socials.
thank y'all.
Thanks for watching Up in Country. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave us a comment. We do new episodes every Tuesday, and be sure to follow Up in Country on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And you can follow me too at Sue Bonzell on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.